Welcome to the Heart Path Podcast. I'm your host, Yvonne Ellis. The Heart Path Podcast spotlights authors, changemakers, nature lovers, and creators of all kinds. Each of our podcasts aim to share interviews and stories of beauty, resilience, and inspiration for all.
Hey, are you in there? Morning. Oh God, what am I? Bedridden porcelain and a gas bill, potatoes tainted from the last tenant. I know entirely too much to keep them. Call it a gift. I let these clothes infuse with cardboard, last parcel unpacked, entirely too unimportant. There isn't a thing that feels right on me anymore. Stretched out, trapped in, old and all too new, but it is time to be a home. Incubate, lose muscle and mind, and learn to bake chicken, and also patience. And could someone tell me how we begin to forgive ourselves for all the things we did not become? If the grass is too long when you clip it, the whole lawn can suffocate, but green is an objectively ugly color on the hollows of vases and bowls in bathrooms. The walk to my first ultrasound was lined with cattle guards and vials of blood and stirrups and congratulations, you will be examined closely for the rest of your life now. Your misery is normal. Nothing can be done. You are words on charts your education never prepared you for. Have you heard the news about me? Farm animal, barnyard, belly up, and blooming. Bunnies eat my hostas out back, and my child drinks from my bones. We are naive to think everything we love won't take from us, shamed when we grieve it. These mornings, my stomach muscles separate as I turn, and one of these mornings I will shift to look at you, bassinet born again each day like the moon left you on purpose. But for now, I am scared. I am scared and sorry for it. As your mother, I must be real with you, but the sun will leak through our skulls again tomorrow, illuminate the rot, aerate the lawn, and bleach the toilet bowl. Life has ended for me many times, began again in the morning.
Starr Paul. Woohoo! I love your visceral poetry and how real it is and how I can feel each line. And I'm wondering what inspired this poem and for you to write this?
Yeah, thank you. This was the first poem I was able to write after 3.5 months of pregnancy and being debilitatingly sick. As a new mom, as someone who's never done this before, and as this pregnancy was unexpected, there's a lot of weight to the realities of what it means to be a mother, to be a woman, the weight that is put on you, the expectations, the responsibilities, the bodily changes, and how that affects your mind, and the way you and your life will never be the same. It's a sort of grieving. And then I've noticed I'm in this stage of welcoming. So this was just like my first, I can make something of this, you know?
Oh, I love that. And as you're moving into this new phase, how are you feeling now?
Feeling hopeful. I was told growing up that one day I'm going to have a child just like me and it's going to be my payback. And I'm going to understand how hard it was. And I look at that now and I laugh because, yeah, I was a handful, but I look forward to raising differently than that and never making them feel that way. I think it's really cool to be able to document that and share it and just kind of be real about the honest weight and realities of motherhood and pregnancy for women, because I think oftentimes it's glorified a lot. And I think before I got pregnant, I was doing some of the glorifying, especially in my poetry. There's poems I have that I wrote unaware of that push and pull, just kind of leaving the realities out of it and focusing on this beautiful image-packed, positive type of language. So it's definitely made me grow as a writer, as a human, and I'm feeling optimistic. So
Oh, that's so beautiful. And I love that you're now in a phase where your body's feeling better, your mind's
Mhm.
feeling better, you're moving through it. And that's just so good to hear. I'm so
Yeah.
grateful for that for you. Ah, so today I'd really love to talk about the Black Hills Writers Collective and the story behind that. So how did you get started with this?
So I graduated from Western Colorado University with my MFA in poetry, I think coming up on 2 years ago now. And I live in Spearfish, South Dakota, a really tiny town in the Black Hills. And while we are kind of a vibrant artistic community, I felt such a lack of poetic community. I had come from so much, with Western's program being hybrid, even though most of it was online and some of it was in person, there was always workshops and open mics virtually or in person, or mentors to email who will email you back. We had really awesome instructors, but just that immediate community whenever you needed it. It was so helpful because writing is such a solitary act. And I think a huge part of the creative process is witnessing, holding space, witnessing each other. I just really longed for that community. And I guess the perks about being in a place where there isn't much of it is you get to create it. So I've never been one to just kind of sit around and wait for something to happen. I messaged a local poet and one of my friends, Robert Harold Bordeaux, and I was like, hey, you want in on this? I think we should do this. And that was November of the year prior. And then we're coming up on a year now. We had our first open mic in January. And we focus mostly on open mics, but we're moving more into professional and creative development as well. I really want this to be a space where I can help facilitate with, what I know through leadership and action, and also share my knowledge because it goes nowhere if I don't. I learned from some incredible people, and I want to be able to give that in any way that I can, and just a place to be seen and heard. The world is so grim and so disheartening right now. And if there is a way to bring people together and light a little lantern that we can carry through life with us together, then we're going to find it and we're going to light it.
Wonderful. And how many open mics have you had so far?
So we have done at least one a month, one big monthly open mic at a local brewery. We have a featured reader at every one. And then we do kind of a lot of community partnership. This summer was really about that. We partnered with Cycle Farms, which is a local organic vegetable farm, and we did a solstice reading. We got together on their farm and sat on hay bales and drank tea from herbs they grew, and just beautiful community. The way they have welcomed us, the way that we have fused together has been amazing. We've partnered with local musicians and also musicians from out of town and did a poetry music concert, which was just amazing because all art comes from art somewhere. So we've done lots of things like that. I hosted a craft talk with our friend Kaylee Harrychin. She owns Haysapa Studios. She's the body and energy worker. And we talked about poetic embodiment. So we've really tried to add more than just one event of a month, but sometimes it is just that event, and that's okay because it is heavy lifting, but we've made it consistent to where every month you can expect to have this place. And obviously, we're very active online too, sharing resources, publication opportunities, workshops. It's been a great place to collaborate and share.
And it seems like a lot of people are very interested in what you're doing and attending. Every time I see a photo of one of the readings, it looks like the house is packed. How many people do you have coming to the readings?
Oh gosh, a lot of times we max out standing room and sitting room in this brewery, which is amazing. Slower months, we've got 10 to 12 readers. On busy months, we max out our reading sheet, which is 20 people, and we pretty consistently have new readers or people who have never read at an open mic before. And it makes me so emotional every time that they trust us and feel like that is a safe enough space for them. Because poetry is so intimate. This is our most raw, unfiltered selves. It's a huge feat to just get up in front of a lot of people. The community also saw the need that I felt. I'm just so glad that it's able to help other people. If one person showed up every month, we would love it still. But the fact that so many people find themselves in that community too is just like, it really does move me to tears a lot of times.
I bet. And I completely understand. There's something so beautiful about creation and people coming together to acknowledge each other's words and to just be there in support of one another. It's just a beautiful thing that you're creating right now, Starr. So thank you for creating this. What are you thinking about doing moving forward with the Black Hills Writers Collective?
So we have such big dreams and hopes for the collective. We're hoping every year now to do an anthology. It's so nice for writers to have publication history on their CV, whether it's for job opportunities, for other publication opportunities. It's huge. And I don't think there's a ton of resources for that here where I live as well. So for us to be able to compile something that is, place specific, people specific, community specific, and also almost like a year wrap up in a way of each year in the collective. We're hoping to do anthologies, more workshops, lots more workshops, hopefully at least one of those a month in tandem with a open mic, just more opportunities to grow, come together. And I do love how an open mic is like a performative workshop in a way, because you say these words out loud and you watch how many people are going, when you say this, and who's saying nothing when you say this, and where you feel like the energy drops. I love that. But I think I want us to all be able to get a little bit more hands-on with our work and collaborative, more community partnerships. We've expanded a little bit in the Northern Hills, gone to Custer at their library and done readings on their lawn, but just more classes, more neighboring towns, bringing more people in from out of state would be amazing. So we've got really big plans, but we feel like they're very, very attainable.
Beautiful. And what's so great about the anthology as well is you're getting the voice out of an entire area that may not be heard. And so it's wonderful what you're doing for writers and how you're empowering them through everything you're doing with this collective. Thank you for your work, Starr, on that. What about your writing? Are you thinking about maybe creating a new collection of poetry about being a mother and moving forward in that?
Yeah, it's funny with organizing, oftentimes you neglect your own writing. I guess I found that I do that. I recently did a reading with C. Marie and Erica Reed in Fort Collins, and C. Marie said, "Don't forget to be doing something with all of this." And it echoed in my mind like, oh, I have been neglecting myself. I have been neglecting my work in that way. I need to focus and prioritize a little bit more on that. So I've dug up my thesis, which I think I put a lot of pressure on in grad school that this has to be perfect. And everyone was telling us it's not going to be. Like, it's not going to be publishable right off the bat. And still, I thought it would be because I'm doing it and it has to be. And I have to get it right. And I focused so much on the getting it right. And I don't think there is any getting it right. But I think this experience of being pregnant, becoming a mother, lends a lot with the subject matter of my thesis, which was my relationship with my mom, my grandma, anticipatory grief, all of these things. I think I needed to be removed from maybe the inflated ego of it all that tends to happen, when you're emotional, and see things through a different lens. And I feel like I'm understanding my mom so much more. Every woman I've ever come from, I am her and she is me.
Mhm.
And I am creating an extension of myself right now. So I'm hoping to add that perspective into my thesis and get that out there. And there is this balance of I don't want to lose myself to motherhood and only be a mom and only have that be what my writing's about, but I can't help that I write about what I'm going through and about the questions I have and what's on my mind and my heart, writing as much as I can to keep creating through this and getting it out there when the publication feels like it'd be a good home for it. So
Perfect. And what is the name of your thesis?
it was called When She Leaves. I think it could use a better title to do it justice. I think that'll come as I add in these new poems. I really love the way I've grown in form, in voice, in distance, and also closeness and intimacy. I feel like I've learned a lot about myself that I maybe needed to sit with after grad school to be like, oh, this is what my work does. Because I'm never trying to make it do anything. It is just a wild horse and does what it wants to do. But I found that my work has this haunt. It's a haunt. And it's not supposed to make you feel comfortable, but you feel a comfort in being able to put yourself in it and know that you're not alone in these very, very human experiences that a lot of times are taboo. I talk a lot about mental health and unstable family dynamics and suicide and all of these things I've dealt with growing up in my mind through my life. And it's not beautiful or palatable, but it is beautiful in the way that like a haunt is. And so just to even be able to articulate that about my work is something I wouldn't have been able to do when I created my thesis. So I'm so grateful to have that now to be able to do it justice. Because if it got published right out of grad school, I maybe would have looked back and been like, oh, could have worked on that one a little bit longer.
Yeah, I completely understand what you're saying because there's definitely poems that I look back at from my thesis and I think, where's this gonna go? The work that you've done so far is not wasted. And I've read a lot of your poems, and though there's that haunting feel to them, there's also so much artistry in your words and your work. And I feel like your poetry is very beautiful and that you have talent in poetry. And so I want to see that book when it comes out. And I am rooting for you for this process of moving through the old into the new and combining them to create something for others to hold in their hands. And so I know that your words and that your themes need to be out there, and they will be. And I look forward to that day. So I am wondering, what are you doing moving forward in life? What's happening with Starr in life? What's going on?
Oh, I feel like I'm meeting myself.
Aw.
Like in a weird way, I feel like I'm becoming the most myself I've ever been. I thought that pregnancy was a loss of self, and I'm learning it's an evolution,
Ooh.
and I can't keep looking at life in these categorical ways or put more weight on somebody that I was at a certain point in time than who I am now or who I will be. But I have boundaries. I'm not a people pleaser anymore. And it's been so wonderful to walk through the world like that. I found myself and my place in poetry and in writing and in the creative space. And I feel like naturally that's drawing a lot of beautiful opportunities to me that I'm now ready for and so grateful for and dreamt of, but also never expected to come my way. And so it's a lot of accepting and becoming, and I'm looking forward to what I create and make of everything I'm going through right now and where that leads me. I am so type B and so chaotic that I really just go day by day, moment by moment in that day and see what happens and try not to put any expectations on things. Because I feel like that's when you really get to receive the most, is when you're not disappointed about how you think things should have go or should have gone, and you just let them be and let them come to you. I feel like that's happening professionally, personally, and it's been painful and beautiful and all of the things. And I'm just excited to keep going, see where the Writers Collective goes, see where my work goes, and who I encounter along the way, who I become, who my son becomes. And yeah, there's a lot of hope and excitement and being scared, but that's such a huge part of it. And that means that good change is coming. So,
Yeah, and what I love about what you're doing right now is it seems like you are allowing life to unfold the way it needs to, and also embracing it in a way to where it's no longer a hindrance or something in your way. It's whatever it needs to be, however that's going to happen. And so I just think that's such a healthy way to move forward and grow as you grow your belly. I love that for you. So, can we hear another poem?
yes, absolutely. This kind of encompasses um, the journey a little bit, but this is like my first positive poem about life now and the future. And it's called Finger Painted Last Week and Still Drying for V. One day I will have a child just as difficult as me. They will pick at their wounds, won't allow them to heal till they grow tired of open air's sting. I mean, don't we all learn like this? They will hug every animal stuffed on supermarket shelves, ensure each bear is always next to a friend, doesn't feel left out, and I will not rush them. They will talk me through books they cannot yet read because they love the sound they've found the mouth makes, and they think they know better than I what words mean, and I will let them, because they are right. They do. They will cry without need for a reason, not need to mask tears in the shower, and when the time comes to lay in the bed they've made themselves, I will fall asleep there with them. Retuck that top sheet in the morning. After all, I've learned to make myself a bed so good it would be poetic to die in. There will be no because I said so, but plenty of reason, and I hope there is a song living in their heart, moving so quickly up the throat they must wake me at ungodly hours to perform, and if I am so lucky, they will ask me to sing that same 5-minute John Vincent song 13 times, and our home will sound like love. And there will be mud-tracked souls stamped starting from the back door and clothes on the floor that lead me to their next big thing. He will be loud and impractical and otherwise categorized as messy. Ask why after why after why the hell aren't we all this curious? I will always answer. I would have died to be loved like this. Time, I'll live for it. This time, V, I'll live.
Oh, Star, you're so good. I can't wait to see what happens in the next 10 years. I want for your future to be full of good and beauty and justice. And I am rooting for you, and I'm so excited for your baby coming and everything happening in your life. Thank you for creating the Black Hills Writers Collective. Thank you for being who you are on the page and in person, and for all you're creating for this world. Thank you so much for everything you're doing right now, Star.
Well, thank you for everything you're doing. You are pure magic, and I think of you all the time and how grateful I am that our lineages and our writing and our paths have crossed. And I think of all of the poems of each other's and pieces of each other's that we've saw from conception to completion, or maybe just in between, and all the people we've been and the time we've got to spend. And I'm so thankful because I wouldn't be who or where I am without you in so many ways. You've been such an influence, and your bravery to do things without knowing if there's going to be a next step for your foot to land on is so inspiring to me, because if you land every time and make something so beautiful of each place that you go and the heart path takes you. And every time I see a heart anywhere I am, I think of you and I take a picture. So you're everywhere with me, and I love you, and thank you for having me.
I love you too, Starr. Thank you for being here.